President Donald J. Trump, a man of action, has once again thrown down the gauntlet in defense of the American worker. In February 2025, he unveiled a powerful new weapon in the fight for fair trade: the Fair and Reciprocal Plan. This bold initiative aims to dismantle the web of unfair trade practices that have for too long shackled American businesses and drained our economy. The plan is a comprehensive strategy designed to restore balance and reciprocity to international trade. It is a direct response to the predatory practices of foreign nations that have systematically exploited the United States for decades. These practices include imposing exorbitant tariffs on American goods while enjoying virtually unfettered access to our markets. For too long, the United States has played by the rules while others have cheated. We have opened our markets only to see them flooded with cheap goods produced under dubious labor and environmental standards. We have watched as our manufacturing base has been hollowed out and millions of good-paying jobs have been shipped overseas. The Fair and Reciprocal Plan marks a turning point. It is a clear signal that the era of American economic surrender is over. President Trump is determined to fight fire with fire, to meet protectionism with protectionism, until our trading partners finally understand that the free ride is over. At the heart of the Fair and Reciprocal Plan lies the concept of reciprocity. This principle, simple yet powerful, dictates that our trading partners should treat American goods and services no worse than we treat theirs. In other words, if they want to sell their products in the United States, they must be prepared to offer American companies equal access to their own markets. The current state of affairs is a far cry from reciprocity. The United States imposes some of the lowest tariffs in the world, averaging a mere 2.5% on imported goods. In contrast, our trading partners often erect towering tariff walls, effectively shutting out American products. For example, the European Union imposes a 10% tariff on American cars, while Brazil slaps an 18% levy on our ethanol. This lack of reciprocity has created a massive trade deficit, with the United States importing far more than it exports. This imbalance drains our economy of jobs and wealth, enriching our competitors at our expense. The Fair and Reciprocal Plan aims to reverse this trend by ensuring that any country that benefits from access to the American market provides reciprocal access in return. The Fair and Reciprocal Plan is not built on empty rhetoric. It is backed by the full force of American law. The plan draws upon a range of existing trade statutes, including Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 and Section 232 of the Trade Adjustment Act of 1962. Section 301 empowers the President to take retaliatory action against any country engaging in unfair trade practices that burden or restrict U.S. commerce. These actions can include imposing tariffs or other import restrictions. Section 232, on the other hand, authorizes the President to adjust imports if they threaten to impair national security. In addition to these existing laws, the Fair and Reciprocal Plan builds upon the foundation laid by the America First Trade Policy Memorandum, issued by President Trump in January 2025. This memorandum sets forth a clear and unambiguous policy of prioritizing American economic interests in all trade negotiations. While the Fair and Reciprocal Plan does not single out any particular country, several nations are clearly in the crosshairs. The European Union, with its high tariffs and protectionist policies, is a prime candidate for scrutiny. Other potential targets include India, Japan, and South Korea, all of which have long engaged in practices that disadvantage American businesses. The plan will focus on specific sectors where the lack of reciprocity is most egregious. For example, the EU's 10% tariff on American cars stands in stark contrast to the US's 2.5% tariff on European automobiles. Similarly, India imposes an average tariff of 38% on imported goods, while the United States applies an average tariff of just 5% under the most favored nation principle. These are but a few examples of the many non-reciprocal tariffs that plague American businesses. The Fair and Reciprocal Plan aims to eliminate these barriers to trade, creating a level playing field where American goods and services can compete on their merits. Section 5. Recent salvos, setting the stage for fairness. The Fair and Reciprocal Plan is not an isolated initiative. It is part of a broader Trump administration strategy to reshape the global trading system in a way that benefits American workers and businesses. This strategy has already resulted in several high-profile tariff actions, sending a clear message that the United States will no longer tolerate unfair trade practices. In early February 2025, President Trump announced a series of tariffs targeting imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. These tariffs, while separate from the Fair and Reciprocal Plan, are part of a concerted effort to address long-standing trade imbalances and protect American jobs. The tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports are particularly noteworthy, as they target two of America's closest trading partners. However, President Trump has made it clear that even our allies are not immune from scrutiny if they engage in unfair trade practices. These recent tariff actions have sent shockwaves through the global trading system, signaling that the United States is serious about enforcing fair trade. They have also paved the way for the Fair and Reciprocal Plan, creating leverage that the Trump administration can use to negotiate better deals for American businesses and workers.